Okay, so first things first, let's talk about why a YouTube channel, why start a YouTube channel, why use a YouTube channel maybe as part of your marketing methods and tactics. Hopefully you already have an answer to why to use YouTube and why you want to start a YouTube channel. But if not, I'm going to go ahead and give you a few reasons. And some of these might be rather obvious and then some of them might not. So let's start with this. First is you can market and sell absolutely anything and everything on YouTube except porn. So you can, if you have a service that you offer, there's a place for you on YouTube. If you have a unique service, there's a place for you on YouTube. If you are an affiliate marketer or you want to sell affiliate products, or if you want to do product reviews of like Amazon things, there's a place for you on YouTube. If you're a plumber, if you're a doctor, if you're a chiropractor, guess what? YouTube will find an audience and bring them to you. Now, it gets really crazy when you start thinking about all the different things you can sell, digital products, consulting services, how YouTube can gather that audience for you. Now, the crazy thing is that over time, as you get an audience and you get good at what you're doing on YouTube, YouTube is actually going to be paying you to bring you customers. Now, I would never suggest that your primary reason for YouTube to be for the YouTube monetization, which is AdSense. I would not suggest that. Obviously, very large channels with millions of views, hundreds of thousands, or even 1 million subscribers. Obviously, they're monetized to the point that YouTube is paying them upwards of $50,000 a month. But for most who are just getting past that monetization threshold, I wouldn't expect much more than $1,000 a month. So that's probably not going to be your primary income source. However, that channel is going to attract leads to you. You are going to appear as an authority to people because of your YouTube channel, even if you only got 100 subscribers and not a lot of views. And you are also going to be able to target highly selective people. You can both target a highly catered audience as well as you can branch out and you can get a larger audience and basically have a pipeline or a steady flow of leads. You'll be able to put links to different products or services or your calendar in the descriptions of YouTube. And your YouTube videos can also not only be discovered on YouTube, which is the second largest search engine, that also your YouTube videos are discovered in Google search. And if that weren't enough, you can take that same content that you've created and you can syndicate it, which we'll show you in this course and these modules that are coming, how to syndicate it and how to repurpose those videos actually into blogs almost effortlessly. So with that, let's get started. Okay, in this lesson, I am principally going to show you the channel creation, how to create a channel, assuming you don't have a YouTube channel, and how to do some what we call channel default, setting up a few default things so that you can kind of expedite the process of uploading videos, kind of make it a little more functional. So assuming you don't have a YouTube channel, or maybe you do have one, but there's a few things you haven't set, some channel settings, we're going to go through and look at those. But before we do that, I wanted to show you like what equipment would you need. And the answer is you don't really need a lot of fancy equipment. You want to have good sound quality, depending on where and what you're doing, and you want to have the ability to articulate what you're doing. Now, if you were in a service business, obviously you'd make videos showing kind of showcasing some of the services before and after type stuff. But if you are doing mostly like lectures or illustrations, it's just going to be whatever the environment is. But for the purposes of videos, you don't have to have a lot of expensive equipment. A standard smartphone does work. I'm going to show you a couple of things real quick, and then we're going to go into the channel creation stuff. So right here is a light. Lighting is good. Soft lighting will obviously make you appear better on camera. And then here is a microphone that will plug into either a camera or a smartphone device. And these, if you're using like an Apple, there are different things that you can, different plug-in ends. And this is for, if you're outside and there's wind, this would kind of muffle it. And then this is just a simple collapsible tripod. That's it, real basic. Doesn't really cost very much. I think maybe $30 to $50 on YouTube. We do have a fancy schmancy digital camera, but we hardly use it because one, the file sizes are so large that they take forever to render. It does have the advantage that you can flip the screen out and we can see ourselves on camera, so we would know what we look like. But when you're shooting a video, you just want to look into the camera. Eye contact is key. But so you don't need anything like this at all. Again, smartphone would do. And the other thing when we talk about sound, a standalone mic or a pop mic that you can plug in. Here's an example of actually an electronic pop mic. This can plug into any device, any kind of smartphone this can plug into. And then, of course, it just charges up. And then there is a clip-on pop mic, which you could just hold in your hand and speak into it even. And you don't have to have this big fuzzy wind one. There are smaller ones. I'll put links for some of this stuff in the didactic as well. But in the and then we're going to go into the channel creation here next. So creating a channel is more or less a pretty straightforward process. However, there are a few customizations that you're going to want to make for purposes and appearances. Now, this particular, so we have one here already. Now, that you need to have a Gmail account, and you are allowed to have 3 YouTube channels per Gmail account, to the best of my understanding. So on this particular Gmail account, we already have one, so we'll make another one here. And obviously this channel that you create, you are going to want to name it either your business name or your personal name, or you can come up with some other catchy name for it. And I think we're just, since this is just illustration purposes, we're going to call it Noble Healthy Living. Just saying I wanted to make a YouTube channel about health food or health product reviews or supplement reviews or anything like that. And then create channel. And let's see here. Now that I've gotten that done, it gives me the option, do I want to select style, which is a channel we haven't really done much with. So from here, I can check one of these channels on this particular Gmail account, neither of which I've really done much of anything with, but so this is the one we created. So let's go ahead and click that. You'll have to excuse the bird. You may hear him chirping in the background there. He's going to add his commentary to this. Okay, from here, we're going to hit Customize Channel. And under Customize Channel, we are going to be filling out some pertinent details. Just let the YouTube Creator Studio load here. This is basically your back end of the YouTube where a lot of the magic happens. Okay, from here, a lot of magic happens. You're going to want to create a banner that you can upload, and my suggestion is to do that in Canva. They have templates that are very specific to creating a banner, and I'll show you some on some of the other channels that we have done that. And the same with picture. It could be a business logo maybe you have, or it could be your own profile picture. Entirely up to you how you want to handle that. The same with name. And if you're having trouble, I suggest just using your business name or your personal name maybe in the beginning. But if you're having trouble coming up with a catchy name, there are some resources I will direct you to that can help you with that as well. And then description, you're definitely going to want to fill this part out about, who you are, what's the purpose of your channel,
What is it you do? What do you serve? What are your videos going to be about? Links as well. You want to add links. So if you have a well, other social media accounts, you can put them in here. Your website, where you want to drive YouTube traffic to, and you can even put like calendar links in here. You're going to want to put an email address in here as well. Okay. And then the watermark here, not necessary, but you can put one in here. It basically creates like a logo over your videos. There, you're kind of basically like a brand thing over your videos. Not necessary, but again, you can do that now. So this is the basics of creating a channel. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip over to one, put some of this stuff in, and then I want to show you not under customization, but I want to show you default settings as well, because that is what's time with upload. So let's click over and find that. Okay, so bear with me. I haven't done this in a moment, but I believe we go over here and we click our profile tab here on the upper right. And then we're going to go to your channel. Here, I believe what we're going to do is go to the advanced settings, and that's where we can set some defaults. Okay, from here, we're going to go down here to settings. And from settings, now see here, you can add people to your channel as managers. So you could add another email and then they could accept that. But we're going to go to advanced settings. Okay, from here, it's available upload, create playlists, collaborators, etc. Now, intermediate features are not going to be enabled unless we verify a phone number. So these are important because these are going to be, a video longer than 15 minutes, and which, obviously the sweet spot, if we haven't mentioned that, you want to make your videos at least 3 minutes long, and the sweet spot's about 8 minutes. So about 8 minutes, most YouTube creators can kind of agree that is about the sweet spot, but at least 3 minutes in length is going to be what you want to do. But so to access these in thumbnails increase what's called your click-through rate. So that's very important. So you're going to want to verify this account with your phone number, okay? And then with advanced settings, this is where you can set some defaults that allow you to that'll be there on every upload, so it can speed your upload process. So if you go over here to upload defaults, you're going to have, like, you can pre-populate your tags and even your description in the description box. Now, it is going to not let you put links in the description again until you do that phone verification. So you're going to want to make sure that you get the phone verification done. Now, with that, let's go over and we're going to flip over to another YouTube channel that already has all this stuff in place. Okay, so this channel is one that this particular Google account has 3 channels on. I have my local service-based videos, which are all just videos about our local services. And then we have another account that is like called Make Money Online or something. And it's all just, it's like faceless or just like repurposed videos for marketing digital products. And then we have one of our main channels, Noble Digital Empire. So here's an example of a channel that is, the stuff is built out. So here is your channel art, as they call it, right here, and then profile picture. And then as you see, you can read the description of what this business is about, what this channel is about, filled out, links in here, just all that stuff on here. Okay. So you can see what this is about, and then video for people who come to the channel, and then you can have your playlists. Now we're going to go over to those default settings so I can show you that now. Okay, so this channel, again, we've got, if we go to settings and we go to channel, we've got our basic info. And you would put in keywords that your channel is about, kind of what you do. And I could probably update some of this. And then let's see, advanced settings is going to be, again, more default. And you can see here the two Google Ads accounts, because we run ads on this channel, and we'll show more of that later. But so this channel is both monetized, which is real easy to do. That's over here. You go right over here to the earned tab on the left here, and you would just fill out your information there. And then when you hit that 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, you can hit earn, and then you will start getting paid in AdSense. So you'll fill out information there. But you also can link your Google Ads accounts to your channel and for running ads, which again, we'll get into that a little bit later. And then if we go to the feature eligibility, you can see all of these are enabled. The standard features, the intermediate, the thumbnails, putting links in the description, being able to do daily uploads and live stream at that point. Now, upload defaults. This is the setting that is going to save you a lot of time. So you can fill out description and the tags if you are kind of doing content that's always based around the same thing. We're going to go more into tags and what to put in the description in the next video. We're going to go over what we call YouTube SEO. But for this, we just want to show you that there are default settings that you can have in place that will just kind of automatically be there, so it can speed the upload process when you're doing this. So that is pretty much it for creating a YouTube account. Okay, I am going to show you the best practices for uploading a video and kind of some of like the video's quote unquote SEO metrics that you would want to use to make sure that it's going to do the best that it possibly can. Now, before we get into that, real quick, I have a downloadable YouTube video upload checklist that is in this lesson that you can download this and keep it, and it'll go through and it'll kind of show you some things you can do to help the video, so to say, get pushed in the algorithm or make sure that it is SEO optimized. You don't have to do all 17 of these things by any means. I'm going to show you right now kind of some of the things that are most relevant as would be deemed by software and sites like vidIQ and TubeBuddy, which I've used both of them enough to know kind of theirs and then what other YouTube strategists do. So I've included those and some of my own experience into this upload checklist that you can download. And then next, one more thing into the upload, and I show you what we're doing. I want to point out that you are inevitably going to get spammed by people that are offering, some kind of magical SEO service for your YouTube videos. And we get them constantly in our email inbox. Obviously, our emails addresses are right on our YouTube channels. And then, of course, if we don't, migrate over here to like our Facebook business pages, and they'll say, "Hey, I came across your YouTube channel." They spiel every time, but from a different person, and it's usually somebody who's like from India or something. And we've got an SEO, and we can SEO your video, and it'll magically get more views just based on this SEO. And while SEO is relevant, maybe for helping it rank a little bit better, and making it maybe rank better in Google search as well. It's not the magic go over what the really important things are for video views, and we are going to go over them and simplify them and make them very easy to understand. But the SEO part is not really the magic pill. It's just like a best practice. So, but you are going to get spammed by people offering this service. It's basically, if you're doing what I'm about to show you, there would be absolutely no benefit to them at all other than they're just, pitching you. Now, these outreaches, they aren't really even legitimate. I've had ones even go as far as to give me like their vidIQ kind of breakdown, but when I took their breakdown and I compared it side by side to a breakdown I've done myself in vidIQ, the reports are completely night and day different. And of course, I've called some of them out before and said, "Hey, how come I'm getting a completely different report than you?" "Oh, I have a different version of vidIQ." Right, because there's a different version of vidIQ. So it's just in that respect ends up being basically a scam. So just wanted to give you fair warning on that. Now let's go ahead and move on to uploading a video. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have your thumbnail, and you're going to want to have your files. Okay, so here are some thumbnails that I have, and you want the thumbnail to have keywords in the thumbnail as the file. So this particular thumbnail right here, LLC Formation Orlando. Well, we're going to go ahead and use this LLC Formation video and thumbnail. Now, this thumbnail isn't the best practice thumbnail. I'm going to show you how to create much better thumbnails, but because the video that I'm doing on the channel that I'm doing is a service-based channel for our primary business, I have no interest in gaining massive amounts of viewers or followers or subscribers on this video. I am strictly creating this video to target search engine for that location. So this video lesson is going to be SEO to the extreme. So I wanted to illustrate that the main purpose of this is that I'll target audience in a specific location. So we could see with this thumbnail, the keywords are LLC Formation and then the keyword Orlando, which is a location, which is a good strategy if you have a service-based business, a location-based service business. That would be a good strategy for you to deploy. So if I go over to my video files right here where I've got some video files, you're going to see this same exact, I guess, phenomenon or strategy, right? I have videos that are named for the keyword is the property file of the video, and so that's important. So if we come down here to the video we are going to upload, which I'm going to show you, we have LLC Formation Orlando, and you can change these file names really easy just by right clicking and going to properties and then just typing in what you want to call it. So in here, to add some keywords to it. So with the file name, it's just best practice. It's not really required, but I could even stuff some keywords. I could do LLC Formation. Sunbiz is the entity that helps with LLC Formation, so I could stuff the word Sunbiz in there and then just save it as that, and we'd be good to go. So now let's go to YouTube so we can upload this. So here we go. This Noble Notary and Legal Document Preparers is the name of this channel, and it is literally our actual service-based business. And so what we're going to do is we're going to click Create, upload a video. We see this window pop up right here, and we're going to select the file. And so you want to know where that file is on your computer. So I've located the LLC Formation video here in File, Open, and it's going to now, of course, send that over to YouTube for uploading. So it's going to let us put video detail a little bit on this one, and I'm going to use the reuse details feature right here. Is going to allow me to reuse content from a entirely similar video. Actually, in this case, it's the same video, it's just titled differently, and the file is changed differently. Otherwise, it's the same video. Um, which, if you're a loopers that are basically just pitch videos, because they will drum up business for you without a doubt. Okay, so for this particular instance, use details just to auto load information that I know is going to be the same. That you can unclick any of these that you don't want to reuse in a video. So it's another time saving feature, just like how we talked about in the section when we were creating a paper, because that's kind of a shortcut that can load this info in here. But we do want to make some changes to this video so that it would function like we want it to. So what I'm going to do is change the city here from, right, in this particular case, we see the keywords are start a business, LLC formation, DBA registration, and then of course the location is one of the keywords in this video. And if you remember, my file was for Orlando, so I would change that to Orlando. And it's Orlando, not Orlando. But so I would change that to Orlando. And then obviously right here, so this is what's important, is you need keywords in your title, okay? You need keywords in the first couple of sentences of your video. So right here in the description, looking to start a business in, I would want to change this also to Orlando, okay? So I want keywords in the first couple of um, sentences in a video, and we want keywords in the title. We want keywords in the hashtags, as well as keywords in the all purposes. That is most of the uploads kind of SEO protocol. There's a few best practice things that we're going to go over as well with this video. So the rest of this stuff in the description is kind of overkill. So it's not really needed. Obviously, you can see I'm really driving the point home. But what is important is that you do want live links to your offer. So if you want them calling you, you could put your number in here. So in this example, we offer LLC formation, $150. So we have our phone number if they want to call us and have us do it. We also offer a less than $30 digital course on how to do it yourself. And at the bottom of our description, and you want 3 to 5. I mean, it really doesn't matter how many, but that you deem the most relevant for this video, the 3, okay? Those ones are going to be, so in this case, we had start a business, LLC formation, Orlando, the VA registration, and Sunbiz. So then we're going to upload our thumbnail, okay? That's the next spot here. You're going to click upload a file, and we're going to grab our thumbnail and put it in this video. Okay, so here we're going to click open, and then it's going to set that as our thumbnail. And then we're going to move on to the tags. Okay, so now playlist is, you can add your videos to a playlist, and you probably playlist that this is, I don't want it to go to that playlist. So I'm going to take it out of there. So I'm just kind of putting it in my general Florida playlist for this particular instance. And click done. Okay, so is it made for kids? No, it's not made for kids. And then there's something down here about altered content, and no, it's not. Allow automatic, all that stuff's fine. So tags, I could change this. Formation is one of the tags in there. I'm just going to leave it alone, but I could have it all just around DBA. Specify a location, you could. I find that just using a hashtag that's a location works every bit as good as specifying a location. So that's just a matter of preference for you. And these can all be defaults, like category is education. And then from there, we're pretty much done with that. And we would move to the next phase of the video, which is going to be adding end screens or cards if you wanted to. So you should put an end screen for all of your videos that just directs them that you think might be relevant to this topic. So in this case, we just would click add, and then you can select the video and where you want it on the timeline. I always do it at the end because I'm usually doing a call to watch another video at the end of that video. So I may make a video and say, and if you want to know more about this, or this, and then that's my call to watch this next video, and then I put that next video as one of the ends. Okay, so when you get to the end screen page, formatting options and describe in your video can slide around. Now here you have the options to do the best for viewers. Specific. I recommend that you decide a video that you want them to see. Like we said, we'll usually just call it out. You can adjust where you want this in the timeline. I'm usually doing it in the last 30 seconds of the video, 15 seconds of the video. Okay, so once we publish the video, you're going to want to go ahead and watch the video a couple times through just to make sure that it's doing what you want it to do. You know, the video came out okay. And of course, like your video. And then even share it to a social profile. You know, that's just, those are kind of like engagement things that are, you know, that may trigger the algorithm to some effect. They're, you know, these are best practices that are recommended by things like vidIQ and whatnot. So, you know, go ahead and do them. But what you want to do is look through the description of your video, make sure that you've got obviously those top 3 hashtags right there, and then you've got the keywords right there in that first sentence, and then you've got hashtags at the bottom. And then, of course, you can do, and it can be, I recommend you pinning a comment that is directly related to what the video is about, like in a link. So, like this, I would put check out our, I would just check our LLC formation course here, and then drop that link and then pin that comment. So, of course, I can grab that link here. So I grab that link, and then I'm going to paste it here. Comment. And then once the comment renders, we can pin this comment so that it always stays in the top. And then other than that, And like I said, you can share it to another social profile. That's going to be some of the most important for SEO. Now, a video like this, because it is highly specified and it is targeting a highly specific person, it's going to be good for those leads. It's not going to get a lot of views, okay? But that's views in this particular instance aren't important because of the nature of why the video is created. But as we create broad content, and our goal is to get views, subscribers not so much. You need 1,000 subscribers to be monetized, but other than that, subscribers aren't what YouTube is paying you for. YouTube's paying you for views. So you want to focus on getting views. Now, views are going to be related to, if you've done this, SEO won't be the problem. That wouldn't be the problem with getting views. It's going to be entirely to the topic, the title, the thumbnail, and then most specifically of the content, the first 30 seconds of the content, but the content in general, meaning how engaging is it and does it keep people there? So how long are people watching for? The watch time is the main secret. And we get watch time first by getting them to click with something like a good title, which is a topic that's a lot of search, and a good thumbnail that is going to be eye-catching, which we're going to go over that too. And then kind of hooking them in with your opening script, which we will have scripts that will be proven to kind of reel people in. And then from there, you're going to notice, if you follow the way we lay it out, you're going to notice that you're going to get watches. And then, of course, if you don't, we'll show you how to easily diagnose that as well. So, but this is the how to upload, and this is the pretty much the rudimentary YouTube SEO that is all you really need to do for an upload protocol.
I wish I knew what I'm about to tell you right now, because I did not know this and nobody was really talking about it. Fortunately, I'd been like a army general and just kept at it and kept chipping away at it and kept making videos until I figured this stuff out and inevitably got views. So this right here is this is like the secret sauce. And of course, we're going to go in depth on all of this stuff throughout the remainder of the course, as well as after that go into kind of some other tricks and hacks and tips. But this is really it. This is what happens. And the most important things in this order, 1 through 5, are topic, title, thumbnail, 30 seconds, the first 30 seconds, and then 5, tell a story. Nobody told me this. Didn't get the memo. So topic is the most important. So we need a topic that is relevant, okay? That people are actually interested in. Now, here's the thing. It can't be too broad of a topic, but it also can't be too specific of a topic that there's not enough. That's where I was. That's where I started. I started in this tiny little topic space. The largest, I guess, influencer, we'll call him, in this niche only had 70,000 and still only has 70,000 subscribers. And I didn't get that memo. So for years, I was grinding away and working on this topic with titles about that topic, not getting the watches and the subs that I felt I deserved because it was the wrong topic. It was too small. I needed to broaden it out and get a bit broader of an audience. But again, not too broad. If we would as broad as how to make money, too big, okay? No one's going to find you. But if we went down as niched as where I was, which was making money as a notary, or in this whole notary space was my topic, too small. It wouldn't work, okay? So I wish I had figured that out and known that a long time ago, but I didn't. But I do know now, and of course we have taken action on much larger pools of audio. So this is crucial. So here's how this works. Your title, how you title the video, is going to have keywords that are related to the topic that you want to target, okay? And when you do that, you are going to get impressions from YouTube. In other words, they're going to serve your video up. Those impressions generally equal views, okay? Impressions actually equal your video is out there, the thumbnail is going to equal the clicks, which then is going to equal the views. So that's why it goes in this order. We need a thumbnail that's going to compel them to click when the title and the topic get the impression. And then you've got 30 seconds to reel them in with a hook. And from there, we're going to tell a story, okay? So let me elaborate on these a little bit. Your topic, you can choose topics and titles that are more evergreen. And you can choose titles and topics that maybe have a trending element to them. Now, trending are going to get lots of views really quickly, but then they're going to fizzle fast, okay? Where evergreen, like a how-to video, how to tie my shoes, how to jump start a car, those how-to videos are going to be evergreen, meaning might not get a lot of views coming out of the gate, but they're going to always get views, and they'll always be because it's a search term. Okay, so you obviously want to be doing both of those ideally. So title has to have keywords in it, the keywords about the topic. The title also should be something compelling their curiosity. Good news for you is that there are title generator tools on the internet that I'm going to show you. And I have given you an abundant list, nearly 50 what I call outlier titles, where you can just insert your niche keyword in, and it's almost guaranteed to get you views. Okay, so that's exciting. Now, thumbnail. We are going to go in thumbnails, and not talk much about it right now, other than the purpose of the thumbnail is to kind of to get the clicks, to get the views. 30 seconds. We're going to ask a question or make a bold statement. Again, we're going to break that down in another lesson. And then we are going to tell a story. Okay, guys, you know how to tell a story. You've been telling stories your whole life, okay? What you have to do is make this about the person watching and not about you, okay? The rambling on and the going nowhere with the conversation is not going to work on YouTube. We want to tell a story. We want to get to the point. We want to create curiosity, as we tell that story. We also want to do something called creating an open loop, meaning you are giving them a reason to kind of stick around so they can get closure. But you should already know this. You've been told stories as a kid. You tell stories as an adult in group conversations. I've got to tell you what just happened and who just said what to me last week. That's a story. You're just doing the same exact thing on video, on YouTube. So this is it. And let's get started. We're going to move on through these, through the rest of this course and show you how to put this in action.
Okay, so thumbnail creation is going to be the key to getting click-throughs from impressions. And there is probably really no better place at the moment than Canva to create a thumbnail. And we're going to go over a couple of strategies on how to do that. Now, there are like vidIQ has a thumbnail generator. I'm not really that impressed with it. They think it's great, and when they do their ranking of videos, they can give a self-rank to their thumbnails that is high, as they seem to think, but they don't really test well in real time. And we'll cover vidIQ when we get into the lesson on different YouTube tools. It's really one of the only ones I recommend paying anything for. And there's plenty of free YouTube tools that we'll go over. And then there's stuff that is not worth anything at all that we'll dive into. But that's going to be one of them. Now, Canva, you can use free or paid. It's pretty much how most YouTubers make their thumbnails. And we're going to go over the formula for this real quick. And so the goal with the thumbnail is to make eye-catching, to let them know what the video is about without having to watch it, to have some curiosity and a niche identifier. So if we look at this example right here, you see he's got the bold color, red shirt. He's got the niche identifier, or a prop, as I call it, and the statement, and then emotion. So this is a great thumbnail. Now, how do you know if your thumbnail is good or not? Well, you're going to know by your click-through rate. So if we went to our YouTube Studio and you pick a video, and then under that video you go to Analytics and you go to Reach, you're going to have your input. And so for this particular video, which is currently at 2.6 thousand views, 26,000 impressions, and it has an 8.1% impression to click-through rate. So that is a great click-through rate. I would say anything less than 5, probably not good. You may want to look at changing the thumbnail out. YouTube now does have the ability to A/B test thumbnails, so you could create 2 different versions of a thumbnail and load them up, and it will automatically decide what the winner is of those thumbnails. But so this one, good thumbnail, and you see we followed that same formula. If you look at the thumbnail over here to the left, we've got some color, and we've got 1 million with a stamp question mark. So our curiosity, our niche identifier, there's a freaking stamp in my mouth, right? So there's a prop, and then I'm making this weird face. So checks all the boxes, hits an 8% click-through rate. That's how it's done. Nothing real fancy here with this picture. If you look at it, it's just a screenshot. Do screenshots and then just edit them, just kind of overlay them with stuff. And you can do that in Canva. I'm certainly guilty of making horrible thumbnails. And then as time has gone on, I've learned what matters and kind of how to do that. So YouTube, we can also use to do our the other channel art, like the channel banner. You can just go in here and type in channel banner, and it'll give you templates that you can adjust. The same with YouTube thumbnail. I could go right here and click YouTube thumbnail, and then I can go to work. Now, they do have in here, they do have their they do have like their little design templates that you could use. I don't really recommend them. I found it works better if you're actually just using a screenshot video and then doing exactly what we said, just overlaying some bold text. But you'll see what I'm talking about here in just a second. So here you can see to my left, they've got these kind of ready-made designs where you could just maybe swap out your photo and edit the words. You're certainly welcome to try those and see if they work. I haven't really noticed anything special about them, but I just take ones that I would maybe like here. I like the boldness of the words here, so I could use this one for the sake of the words, and then I would just get rid of what I don't want. So I would basically delete all of this stuff except for just the lettering on it. And then I would use some of my own material. And I would come over here, and you can upload your screenshot. If you don't know how to do a screenshot, it's just simply the Windows button and the print screen button. And then we have over here in Canva an uploads feature where you can upload a file right to Canva, and then you can edit it. So assuming I'm going to use this one, I would get rid of this, and you just hit the trash can and get rid of it. And of course, you've got back button to undo. So there's any number of different tools and features inside of Canva, too many to go through. So I'm just going to show you some of the basics. Like here, I can get rid of all this stuff. Basically, I can basically overlay one of my pictures directly. I wanted to get rid of it. I just get rid of it and make a clean slate. And then words in here to something. So ideally with your caption, you want 1 to 3 words that are gonna kind of build some curiosity. Now with your thumbnail, you want to be able to have a complete stranger who doesn't know you and doesn't know what the video is about and doesn't read the title. The test would be, can they just look at the thumbnail and know what the video is about? Okay. So here I can, there's a crop tool right here. So what I can do with this is I can just take this screenshot, bring it in. And a good rule of thumb too with your thumbnails is you want your photo of you ideally to be about 1/3 of the size of the thumbnail. So here, see, I could take this and then I could just overlay it, and then I could take my words here and I can bring it forward, layer, bring to front, and then I can take this image, stretch it all the way out so that it fills up this. So here's what I was talking about, how I said you don't even have to delete all that stuff. You could just throw your image over it. And then I can just slide this into position, which I don't have a reason to use the word danger. So obviously I would change this to what I want. Now from here, I would want to have my niche identifier. In this particular video, there is a niche identifier. So maybe I would go over to my elements here and grab like money or something else, you know. But ideally, you have a prop in your hand, and if you're rolling a video and you're going to take some shots, screenshots of that, maybe before you start going into your script, you make a couple of faces, a couple of funny faces, or excited faces or curious faces in the process. And then what you can do, another trick you can do is you can remover tool right here. So I can remove the background and I can actually duplicate this picture and then remove myself out of the background slightly. And then it'll kind of make me pop off the screen. So right here is the plus. This is your duplicate. So see, it just duplicated that picture. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So if I hit background remove, now I'm going to remove the background, although the background is still on the picture that so you'll see what happens here. So now it's almost done. It's still running. So there you go. So see, now there's a duplicate, and then take this picture here and go to edit. And then I come over here on my left and there's going to be some more tools that I can use. And there's like a blur tool. See some of those designs there you can overlay. So if I went over here to this side, I've got, here you go, right here, blur. And then I would say whole image. And now you have a blur intensity. And I that much, I would maybe keep the blur down around maybe like the 18 mark. And then that's it. So now it blurred that image. And now I put my pictures that are in the front of those ones. And then it kind of looks like we're popping off the if I get them to line up rightly. And this is being a little clumsy right now, but I think you get the point with this one. They run in the film here at the same time I'm trying to edit. This is kind of goofing up my mojo, but basically I would just lay that back over this one and it would look more like I popped off the background. And that's all you really have to do for these. But if you'll follow those simple rules, can kind of string, you have some kind of a prop that's a niche identifier, whether it's like tools you use or if it's money or if it's a, you know, anything like that, have the emotional expression, have some color and some bold text that's 1 to 3, and then you're gonna have winning thumbnails. And we've of course covered how to analyze that. So there you go. Okay, so video scripting and trend jacking. Okay, so basically how we're going to shoot our videos. So here is the thing is, real quick, you don't have to do a lot of editing to your video. Okay, you don't need fancy editing software. You don't have to do a lot of jump cuts. You don't have to do a lot of B-roll. When we get into tools, I'm going to show you Opus Clip, which is, if you don't know about it, is great for converting long form into short form videos. It's also good for editing long form videos by adding sound enhancement and adding B-roll. So if you want some B-roll effects, it can be used. So it is good at that. But for the most part, you know, edit your start point, edit your stop point. If you make a mistake in shooting your video, edit those out, and that's it. Otherwise, you could really just do one still frame of you kind of just talking, like sitting at a desk talking. As long as you have some good inflection, you're not monotone and you're not boring, and what you are saying is interesting and adding value, you don't have to do all that fancy editing. So With that, we've mentioned before in other places, you want the video to be at least 3 minutes. Ideally, the sweet spot is 8 minutes. Can be as long as you want, but obviously, the longer, the more likely you are going to have a you're going to lose the audience. So now, how do we know whether or not we have interesting content view duration? So the same way we looked at our CTAs for knowing whether or not the thumbnail's good and impressions equaling the title is good. If you have low impressions, like if you load a video up and let's say you've had it on YouTube for 3 or 4 days and you go back to those analytics and you see the impressions and you have less than 1,000 impressions, your title sucks. Okay. Uh, Again, a 3 or 4 or lower click-through rate is going to mean that you have a thumbnail that sucks. And if you have a view duration of 1 minute, your video sucks. Okay. There's some missing components. So we're going to try to eliminate those missing components. Okay. And maximize your watch time. And as of course you maximize your watch time or your average view duration, if you get your average view duration up over 2 minutes, you're going to be pretty good. You're going to get pushed in the algorithm. You're going to get into the browse and suggested, which is where the views really come from. Coming in search, obviously, if we create evergreen titles, you can always show up in search, and we'll have as good a chance as anybody with search. But to get into the browse and suggested, where you get mega views, we need to have that view duration up. So here is the simple format, right? We have a video structure. You have a hook, right? Your opener, a couple of bullet points, an engagement hack, and what's called an end screen push. An end screen push is just watch this next video. So instead of saying, all right, bye, see you next time, we're going to say, now, if you wanted to know about XYZ, you're going to want to check this video out right here next. And then obviously we set that up in the video editor. So here is my basic template. It's just what I just showed you there. I'm just elaborating. You could literally take this script here and insert whatever it is you want to talk about in there. Now, don't read a script, okay? Don't be robotic and read a script. People are going to be able to see through that, okay? So either memorize your script or just use a script as the guideline, and then you shoot from the hip on all of it. Here's a prompt that I created that works. So everything that I'm teaching you in here, you can take it into a prompt and you could bring it to your favorite AI generator, whether it's ChatGPT or it is Perplexity or whatever. But you could take this prompt right here and you can just see insert the title. So I'm crafting a script that ideally 8 minutes. Insert title, some talking points are, insert whatever your topic and your talking points that you want it to be. If you don't give it any, it'll kind of come up with its own and they might not be what you want to talk about. And then we're going to tell it to give us an engagement hack and create that open loop, and then lead us to our end screen push. So that is it, really. So now creating an open loop. This is right. You state the problem. You found the problem. There's 3 steps. The third's the most important, right? The last thing I'm going to show you is the most important thing. So you're going to want to make sure that you don't miss that. This is how you keep them watching, guys. Okay. Here are a few more examples of your openers, the bold statement and the curiosity. Here's what we can do for engagement hacks. Ask them questions and ask them to comment below. You know, hey, do you like pineapples on your pizza? You know, I mean, it could even be that. It could be unrelated to the video, but the more related to the video, the better. And now, lastly, mistakes, okay? Do not say welcome back. Quit doing that. Do not have one of those intro videos. I have done this, guys. I've made all these mistakes. You don't need an intro video. I've had my intro videos and my theme song and all that garbage. You don't need it, okay? You don't have to tell them to like and subscribe. If it's a good video, they're going to like and subscribe, okay? And again, no inflection, just basically being boring. Don't be boring. Be yourself. Don't be fake, but don't be boring. Now, trend jacking. This is where we find something that we can kind of weave our topic into a trend. So if there is a prominent figure, say, in your niche, so like say you're in financials or financial services, Dave Ramsey, right? You could kind of go, Dave Ramsey got this wrong kind of thing, right? You could, and weave him, make the video kind of revolve around something he's obviously it could be not just a person, but an event that might have happened that can somehow correlate to what your niche is or what your service or product is. So that is trend jacking. It's just a way to kind of draw more people into your video. So with that, that is it for the scripting, and it's literally as simple as that. Do not be afraid to get on camera, and we'll see you on the next video. Okay, so creating viral content or viral shorts. I think the viral is probably best suited for short form videos, which are generally under a minute. What I can tell you about this is that you kind of have to throw everything out the door, so to say, from what we've learned for long form videos with YouTube. Now, I am part of a growing body of creators and a growing mindset that that viral videos or even short form videos specifically, maybe not so much viral, but just short form videos aren't really best served on YouTube. So I say when you're going to create shorts, that you should do them on Instagram Reels for sure, do them on Facebook Reels, and then TikTok. Those are all good places for doing such things. But I don't really like doing them, even though I've done them. I've done them on my YouTube channels. I've done several of them, and I've gotten maybe not viral, but what I would call videos. And by micro viral, I mean anywhere from 10,000 to 60, 70,000 views on a short form video. So there, and so I wanted to test the concept. So in this lesson, I have basically everything that is known about viral videos, kind of everything that has been done about them and what is known about them. One of the concepts with viral videos is that you want to have, there are types of formats that work really good with this. And I've listed some of the top ones here: challenge videos, myth, claim, and tested, and extreme experience. The main thing with a viral video is that the more unusual the video is, the more against the grain it is, the more likely it is going to be shared. So you'll definitely want to go through all of this, about making a video weird and uncommon and finding an uncommon idea, because these are things that will help your process. Like I said, I've tested this, and probably one of the easiest things to do is obviously you're going to have, like we mentioned in here, you want to have a visual hook and a caption hook, maybe even an audible hook. So like right at the start of the video, like a cash register or a doorbell rings or something that kind of immediately grabs attention. Then you've got this 3-second window where with the long form, we say, hey, you've got a 30-second window to kind of craft something with a viral video. 3 seconds, you've got to nail them with something quick, so that they'll keep watching. And then of course, so that it becomes a shareable video. Shareable is one of the key ingredients. But so I have included in this lesson these viral hook titles that have been used by creators before that you can experiment with. And I'll tell you my experience with doing some of this. So for one thing, the short form viral videos, they definitely, or viral like or micro viral, are definitely good for drumming up some leads or sales. We did one that was for one of our services, which is a what we call a ladybird that we prepare. We did a short form video where I just throw my phone number out on the video, and sure enough, it resulted in us getting a lot of leads, a lot of calls for that service from people who said, "I saw your video on Instagram, and I saw it on Facebook, or I saw it on YouTube. I put that one on YouTube actually." So it was great in that respect. And I think that one, what I did for this is I just, you got to do research. So you want to take somebody who's maybe in an adjacent niche or in your niche or niche or similar, and you want to find a video that is either viral or micro viral. Um, like I took one for the Ladybird. I saw a mortgage broker made a video, had about 80,000 views, and I basically just recreated what she did, her format, and even her lines and how she created the video. I just redid it, but with my own different service and my own product and my own explanation. And sure enough, it didn't go viral like millions of views, but got an awful lot more views than a short form video I would just make with like Opus clip, where I was just using Opus. Now we're going to go into a walkthrough Opus in a little bit and what it is supposed to be good at doing. And their claim is that, well, we can take your long form video and we can splice it into short forms that'll have a high viral score, so like they give it like a 99 out of 100 score, and that's going to have the secret sauce baked into it that'll make it viral. Not really. No. Will it get more, probably more views than if you just cut it yourself in YouTube using the YouTube kind of the button that allows you to remix into a short? Yes, it will. It'll probably beat that, but it's not really gonna make a viral video just out of it. Now, Alex Hermosi uses Opus Clip, and I do like that how it auto caption stuff. I think caption in the words are definitely one of the key formulas for it. But again, my suggestion is just to find somebody who's already got it and just clone it. Basically, just make a video as similar to that as possible, but with what it is you're trying to pitch and accomplish. And that with, kind of what we lay out here and a little bit of luck should get you those virals. Again, I like that you can get some leads with this, and it's probably better than any paid ads you'll ever run. And ironically, anytime you get a video that does pop like that, that is a good video that you might want to actually consider running paid ads too. As well. But we recommend, and when we go into the YouTube kind of the ads for either channel growth or for selling something, we recommend picking a video that has gotten a lot of subscribers, because if people watch the video and they subscribe because of it, which your YouTube analytics will show you, then that is a good indication of a video with a high value to it. And so that would be a good one to run an ad to for channel growth. And if you are mentioning a product or a training or a course or something or some other kind of lead generation in that video, even better, because now it can serve a twofold purpose. And we'll show you the detailed walkthrough of that in another lesson. But so again, for viral, you go through all this, read through all this, because these are proven formats. Download the resources we've given you, and chew on this, and then go into do your homework. Go into Instagram and go into TikTok or wherever, even YouTube, and look for creators that are maybe in your niche or in an adjacent one, and look at the videos, the short forms they did and how they did it on a video that just got tons of views, and just kind of recreate. Don't copycat it completely. Obviously, use your own words and or parlay that into what you're going to make. And right there, really, in theory, it'll work. Again, we've tested it several times, but we've also gotten videos that have gotten 60, 70, 80,000 views that were short form that I didn't do any of that. I was just shooting a video, and I'm just shocked that they got the views that they do. So, which makes me think that on some of them, while there is this science to it, there's some element of luck or just who the heck knows to it as well. So there you have it for short form videos. And again, we'll go into the Opus. I highly recommend getting Opus if you're really wanting to crank out short form videos. The great thing about a short form video is that you can actually make them pretty quickly. The bad thing is they are more editing intensive just because of what they are. There's a lot more that goes into editing them, but you can still make it pretty quickly. So with that, we'll go ahead and see you on the next lesson. Okay, so what if your video tanks? What if you really put your energy and time and effort and heart and soul into what you think is a pretty good video, and it just goes, what do we do then? Well, I'm going to show you a strategy that a lot of big time YouTubers do, but nobody's talking about this. Nobody talks about doing this. So this is a growth hack that you can use when it's appropriate, that can help you to get more views, get more subscribers, get your offer seen. And gosh, I can't believe that hardly anybody ever talks about doing this, even though I know there's a lot of channels that do this. And this is re-uploading videos that are bum videos. Now, sometimes, in fact, the majority of times, you're going to get videos that get stuck in the what I call the 200 view jail, right? Below 200 jail, where they just can't seem to break it. A lot of times it's simply the obvious. The video just sucks. Okay. Now, sometimes it was actually good, but the algorithm didn't pick it up. But it could be that it's a bad title, and it could be that it's a bad thumbnail. It could be that it's a bad video altogether. And it could just be that actually it's a decent video, just your intro, you didn't nail the intro. And that's what happened. But what we can do is we can cherry pick out some of those videos that are in jail, so to say, and we can download them, make a few changes, and delete the original one, and then re-upload it as basically new content. And well, if only like this, one of these videos, if only a few people saw it, then it stands to reason that we can give it another shot at the algorithm. So we want to find one. And what we have to do is we have to go through videos with low views and then hit the analytics to make sure it's appropriate. So here's one that I'm looking at right here that, thumbnail's okay, kind of mediocre. 55 views, that sucks. And this was done back in April. So this was done well over a month ago. So what I'm going to do is we're going to look at the analytics on it. So we're going to click this video, and we're going to pull open our analytics and kind of look behind the scenes on this video and see if we can determine if it's a good candidate for doing exactly that. So we go over here to the left and we click analytics. And we're going to look at some data. We're going to interpret what this data might mean. So here we go. Now this particular video got 56 views, and nobody subscribed to the channel because of it. It may just not have been seen enough. It could mean the video sucks. But if we look at, if we go over here to the reach, we're going to see that, come on, let's load that page there. Give me my reach. Okay, so it actually was 50% of people in the browse, so they did try to push it. So we can, this is something we may be able to fix. So average view duration 2 minutes. So okay, so they got halfway through the video. So not bad. Now here's where we have some problems. We've got 2.8K impressions over the course of the last month or so, so that sucks. And we've got the click-through rate of 1.4%. That really sucks. So this thumbnail sucks, okay? And the title probably sucks. So we have a good candidate for what we would call re-uploading. We're going to repurpose this video. We're going to change the title of it. and we are going to change the thumbnail. We're going to get a new thumbnail and a new title, and we're going to schedule it out for like next week sometime and see if we can breathe some fresh life into this video. Now, if you don't know how to download the videos, it's just simply right here. There's the little 3 stack, and you just do that. You click, and then we will download when you do this. You don't want the file name that it is because we don't really want YouTube knowing we're using the same video. And then you want to, after you download it, you want to delete this video forever. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to come up with a new title. Apparently, the secret to crafting high converting offers, like Alex Hermosi, wasn't a very good title because of the limited amount of impressions it got. So we're going to try a different title, maybe a little more FOMO, use one of our outlier titles. And then we are going to definitely change the thumbnail, okay? A little bit more like what we taught, and then see what happens. So that's it. This is given a video that you can, and before we even do this, we would actually want to watch the video, make sure that we kind of nailed the 30 seconds on it as well. Seeing that the people that did watch it, the average view duration was 2 minutes, tells me we probably got that part down. We just tanked on the title and tanked on the thumbnail. And if we fix those, we may have a video that could end up being a winner. So this is one of the secrets that not a lot of people talk about, but is something you can take advantage of. In this video, we're going to go over different YouTube tools that you might want to use and tools that you definitely don't want to use. So real quick, I do get a lot of questions about how often to upload and what time of day to upload. And the answer for what time of day is it really does not matter. Now, if you're using a tool like vidIQ, they will kind of tell you what they think are your best times to upload. But my experience has been that it doesn't even matter. Now, as far as how frequent of uploads, I wouldn't do any more than 3 times a week, but I would try to stick to a minimum of once a week, if at all possible, because you definitely want to get these videos out there. You know, this is how it's, think of it like more, more swings, like, more bats, the more likely you're going to get on base with stuff. So that's kind of the thought process there. And then, of course, always check with your competitors and see what they're doing. If people in your niche, that are running a similar channel to you are doing every single day, well, then you can kind of mimic that, I suppose. But I think one a week is going to get you going. The other thing is that if you're brand new and it's a brand new channel, it's going to take a while for YouTube to do what's called audience matching, or niche signaling is kind of the buzzwords that people use. So it could take you a couple months before it really kind of dials in who to push your videos out to. So don't get discouraged with that. Now, with that, there are these different, what we call paid channel promotion sites. And I've done videos where I've compared them, I've tested them, I've spent money on them all just to see what they do. And my honest advice is to just avoid all of them. They are all kind of junk. They're all probably going to be really low quality traffic. There's a number of them. There's VFly, there's Provigate, and there is one called Flintsy, and there's one called Sprizzy. And they'll probably just keep popping up, and you cannot monitor the where they're getting the traffic from. You can select the videos you want them to promote or just your channel in general, but you're not really able to monitor what type of ad they're using or how they're doing it. So for me, that means that they suck, and I don't think that they're going to deliver on what you want. And I've actually done a video where I was comparing a couple of them, like VFly and Provigate, to just the YouTube promotion, where you can just promote in your in your dashboard. And I'll show you how to do a promotion in your dashboard. But even that, promoting in your dashboard isn't as good as the ad that I'm going to show you how to create in one of the next lessons. But let's start with some free tools, and then I'll show you the only paid tools that I use that are pretty inexpensive. And then I'm going to show you some content syndication, which is important. So for free tools, here we go. This one here is called Rapid Tags IO. And basically you can put the title of your video in here and then just hit enter, and it's going to produce tags that you can literally copy and paste. So, so here you go. And I could just copy these tags, go over to my YouTube video I'm uploading, and then paste them in there. And of course, that would be if your defaults, you don't like your defaults that you have set up for the channel. So that is a pretty cool tool. Now, this site here, ryrob.com, has a number of tools. They have a keyword research tool, which will give you potential search volumes, the stuff that vidIQ is actually charging for. But they also have title generators, topic generators, even scripting for YouTube videos. So they have a lot of tools that you can use for free, which I like. Now, another thing that I do after I've had a video up for about a week is I will convert it to a blog, and then I will just literally copy and paste that conversion into Medium. So here, if you take for the video you created in here and you click generate blog post, it will generate a blog out of your video, which is amazing. And then you can take your video, and then I come over to Medium and I just paste it in here. I mean, it'll give you a title and everything. So I'll paste that blog in here just like this one. And then once I paste that blog in, I will take my video that I actually made and I will paste the link for the video, which technically embeds it in here. And then you can kind of keep the steam going, and then you can actually attract more views to your video through kind of a function of SEO and a function of Medium's own audience. So I recommend after your video has been on YouTube for a week or so to go ahead and do that. So those are some free tools that you should take advantage of for sure. And then if you want some paid tools and you want to syndicate your content rapidly, obviously you can just manually upload a video to Facebook or to LinkedIn or to wherever you want to. You can share the link to your video, and I showed you that in my uploads checklist. And that is for the point of sharing that link is a social signal for YouTube, but you want to, it's never going to get the views doing that if you just uploaded the file like right to Facebook. It's going to get more of its own unique views in Facebook by doing that. And you can actually do that on automatic with this site called Opus Clip or Opus Pro. Opus Pro is $10 a month. It is definitely by far my favorite tool. It has a variety of features that you can use. One of them is that it has different AI enhancements. This was our video that we came in. We were talking about the topics and the titles. Now, in this video, I actually had a lot of ums and ahs, and it can get rid of those for you with their AI enhancements. And the other thing it did was towards the 5-minute mark, my granddaughter was actually in the other room kind of talking and baby babbling, and you could hear her on the original video. But when I went to speech enhancement, it got rid of that so that you couldn't even hear that or anything else in the background. Side effect is if you're watching closely, it looks a little bit like watching one of those kung fu flicks where the voice might slightly be off, but pretty amazing that it can enhance your speech and get rid of that. And it's really amazing that it can get rid of ums, right? Your ums and ers and stuff. It can just kind of automatically chop that out. And you can add B-roll to your video. And then, of course, here you can publish on social. So you could go to publish on social and cross-post and even schedule this out to your different channels. You can schedule it or immediately post it just by connecting your other channels. And not only does it do that, but it gives you a description automatically, and it gives hashtags automatically if you chose to do that. So that for $10 a month is crazy. If that wasn't good enough, it can take a video that you upload or a link from a video that's already on YouTube, and it can convert it into shorts for you. Then again, it can go back and post automatically. So it can create those reels out of different clips of a long form video that you would have made. And that makes this a super valuable tool to have for $10 a month. I do recommend Opus Clip. Now, another couple of YouTube kind of channel, I guess, tools are there's TubeBuddy and there's vidIQ. I've had them both before, and I like vidIQ better than TubeBuddy. And I also don't think that you need either of them, especially not starting out. A lot of times, what I find with vidIQ is that it'll miss the mark. Now, it does have the ability to do some keyword research as well as help you with. Um, it can help you out with generating video ideas or giving you something it thinks is trending. You can find trending video ideas. The thumbnail generator, in my opinion, completely sucks. And they give scores to keywords, so they could give you something that's in the green light. Their kind of thought process is that it's going to be more likely to be a decent outcome from it. But again, I've found where it can regularly miss the mark and where I've done things completely against its advice or its video ranking score and just nailed it. So that tells me that it is definitely not a perfect science. So now with that, we're going to go over and I'm going to show you how to do promotions of your videos in the YouTube studio, just so that you know, because it does work better than DFly and those other ones. So we're going to go check that out here. So if you are not comfortable with running Google ads to YouTube videos like I'm going to show you, then you could do the shortcut, which is channel promotions, which I've done before, and I'm going to show you how to do that. It's real easy and give you the breakdown. And again, like I said, this by far works better than some of those other paid things like VFly, because it's YouTube's algorithm and what YouTube knows about your channel to promote it. So what you would do is you would go, you're in your YouTube studio and you go to your content button. And then from content, you're going to have all this. And then you would go over to the promotions tab. And then from promotions, you're just going to simply create a promotion. And as you can see here in my create a promotion, we did one where it gave $50. It gave me 16,000 impressions. It got 124 views, which, yeah, I would like to think I could get more views for the money than that. And you definitely can when you do the Google ads, like I'm going to show you. But it got 93 subscribers, so that would be roughly 50 cents a subscriber, which, in my opinion, especially considering the quality of the subscriber, would surpass the VFly, Propagate, and all that. So what we do is we'd hit new promotion, and then we follow the prompts from there. Promotion. It wants to know what's your goal: website, audience growth, video views. So you're going to pick one of these, and we'll say audience growth because that is probably going to be the most valuable one. Okay. Unless you got a specific offer, it says select a video from the channel. Edit and promote headlines is optional. So you don't have to put a headline in this. Now, when we do this in Google, you are going to have to. So what video do you pick? Well, you pick one that you know is getting views, which I'm going to do a deeper dive on that in the lesson on in-feed ads. Okay, I'll go a little more into that, but for the purposes of this video, the short answer is pick a video that's already getting you subscribers and getting likes and comments and engagement, and then you'll add it. So we'll add a video. And for the purposes of this, I already know what video I would use. It's going to populate recent videos, and you can just type in here and search the name of a specific video if you have one in mind that you want to use, which I do have one in mind. This one right here has been a wildly popular video, so let's just we're going to use that one. And it's going to show you how it appears. And I'm just going to leave it alone. Okay. And then we'll hit next. Now, if you're an American doing business in America, you do not want people from Indonesia, and you do not want people from the Philippines or India watching this because they are broke. Okay, so maybe United States and Canada. Australia would be good. UK would be good. But I think I'm just going to keep it to the United States. Okay. Advanced targeting, if you so decide, you could go into some advanced metrics and it could say age range and so forth. So we're going to leave that alone. And again, languages, if you are bilingual or you know that there's a certain language speaking individuals would have a propensity for what it is that you want, then you can do that. Now you can, how much do you want to spend? Well, I certainly don't want to spend $200. So let's just try $25. And it's going to give me, based on that budget, performance. Promotions with at least 100 tend to have better. Yeah. Okay, so anywhere from 3,000 to 14,000 estimated. Now, some of this is really going to just depend on how good your video is. And then from there, we just click promote. And it'll give you the report back of how many views and how many subscribers you got, and just let it run. Again, this a tactic, I'm going to show you a way better tactic than this, but this little tactic here is done by big channels. There's a lot of big players out there that do this. So again, I believe there's a much better method that gives you more control and more feedback, and what I would call a dual purpose, meaning that you can both get leads or sales and get subscribers. And I'm going to show you that in one of the next lessons. Okay, so what if there was a way to simultaneously grow your YouTube subscribers and even get some leads and generate some sales? Well, we can do that in the Google Suite. Uh, Typically, paid ads can be pretty dicey and can require a lot of kind of oversight, but there is one little cheat code that works pretty well, and we're going to show you that. So what we want to do is we want to get some very high quality, high intent people for a video, or one of the videos we made, excuse me. And the way to do that is to find a video that meets two criteria. And we discover that basically in your analytics. And what we're looking for is a video that has a high subscriber. So it generated a lot of subscribers to your channel. And simultaneously, that video also has like a call to action in it, like it's an offer, like it makes it clear that you have some offers. So you're delivering value in this video, which is why people are subscribing. And then, of course, you have an offer, and the law of reciprocity will kick in, and people will be compelled to also buy your offer. So with that, what we got to do is we got to go to the analytics. So we go back to our dashboard here, which is YouTube Studio, and down to the left, we click the analytics tab. Now, from there, now I've already loaded this. So if you go over here to my see more, you can see a whole bunch of channels, and we want to pick a video. And surprise, surprise, the Financial Freedom with the Notary Stamp is coming in hot with a lot of subscribers. Here's the percentage of subscribers to videos. So when you see those percentages, you're going to see ones that are that have a high subscriber percentage to the video. So this one had got 67 subscribers to date from that one video. 4% of people watching it were subscribing. Not bad. And it also has got umpteen likes, and the view duration's good. So it's a good quality one. And I also talk about how I've trained people to run a business like this. So this would definitely be. Now, if you remember, this is the exact video that I showed you how to do the YouTube promotion button, which again, the promotion button we're relying on YouTube and its algorithm to do that. With what we're doing here, we are going to be completely behind the wheel. So what you need to do is you need a Google Ads account, which is pretty self-explanatory to set up, so I'm not going to go deep into that right now. If you have your Google Suite and you drop it down, you will have a button right over here that will be your Google Ads. Okay. Now, fair warning, if you do not have a ads account yet, you're going to need to put in payment information for that so that you can pay for your ads. But Google is going to try to bamboozle you into what they call their smart campaign. So you want to make sure that you are selecting expert, because that is going to allow you to do what I'm showing you. If we don't do expert mode, you're going to be in their smart campaigns, which are really dumb. So the back end of the Google Ads platform is colossal. There are just a ton of different things that you can do with this. And we want, of course, be laser focused on what's going to be the most useful. So one thing we are definitely going to need down here's billing, where you go to add your info, your payment info. But one thing we're going to want is tools. And we're going to want to go over to tools, and we're going to go to keyword planner. Okay. That is going to come in handy for all kinds of situations. Actually can come in handy for this particular campaign. So we're going to let the keyword planner load, but then we're going to come back over here to campaign. So we hit plus. Okay, new campaign. It's going to bring us to a new page here. Okay, so once we hit create all these different options, we're going to click on create a campaign and then continue. Then down here, we're going to click video ads. And now we've got a couple of options. We've got video views, efficiency reach, drive conversions, subscriptions, and engagement. So we're just going to go with video views. And then continue. Start a new campaign. It just has some stuff in here that I was started and never completed. Basically changed my mind about a campaign. So we're going to get into a few more settings here that we have to address. Okay, so then campaign name, you can name it whatever you want. We are going to uncheck skippable in stream, and we're going to uncheck short ads because we are just doing an in feed ad. The reason we're doing an in feed ad is because this is a type of video that somebody has to intentionally choose to watch it. So in other words, we're not just forcing this video on anybody, but showing it to people who decided to watch it, which is going to get us a much more targeted viewer. So bid strategy, cost per view, we're going to leave that alone. Now, networks is important. This is one where Google tries to kind of bamboozle us, okay? So we want to uncheck video partners and display network. That's called crap traffic. So we only want these to show up on YouTube and United States. Now you can refine the location as refined as you want. If you've got just want to do a city, county, state, you can refine this video offer, which is very powerful. Like I said, it gives you a lot of control. So you can even add related videos. I'm not even going to mess with that right now, but you can add kind of additional videos. Now, here is another thing that I think you need to address, and that's devices. This says on all mobile computers. Well, what I find is that TV screens and tablets tend to be kids watching them, and they tend to not be able to take action on them, where phones and computers are going to be more actionable, especially if you have like links, like they can click subscribe or they can click a link to see an offer. So I like to eliminate TV screens from my options, and then create your ad group name. Again, it's kind of irrelevant, but I'm just going to call this, I'm going to call it Side Hustle Notary Biz, just, I guess, just for my, um, know what that's about. Now, audience. So for audience, we can get into some more detailed targeting. As far as gender and age, I'm just going to leave that alone for the purposes of this. You can decide based on what your preference is. Now, for this, for household income, I am definitely going to eliminate the lower 50, okay? Because the people who are going to buy and have money to buy. So I don't really want to do the lower 50%, okay? Now, interest, you could do interest-based targeting. What we're going to do is we're going to do keywords. What I found is that you can actually target placement, which is a channel or several channels that are like, say, your competitors, or find keywords tends to get you the most traffic, and placement based on channel is going to give you less traffic, albeit more specific. So that's something you can try. I just tend to find I don't get the views that I want. So now is where we're going to put some keywords in here, and we want to go back to our keyword planner here, and you can type in keywords related to a website. You can paste the website in and it'll extract keywords. You can type in keywords that are that you know are industry specific. Now, for this video that I'm using, I'm talking about a notary business, but I don't really want to use notary as a keyword because there's probably not a lot of people looking for that. I'm mainly probably looking for entrepreneurs or people that are looking for a side hustle rather than people who maybe are already a notary may not be interested. So I'm trying to attract new audience. So I'm going to take a different approach, but again, that's entirely up to you. If it's just like you're just trying to um, sell business related services, and you want people who are searching for that type of business, then that would be a keyword. You're also going to want to choose these keywords carefully, because too broad and you can get low intent people. So people looking for free or cheap might not necessarily be a targeted audience. So we're going to go ahead and aggregate some keywords. Okay, so I entered side hustle and entrepreneurship, and then I would just click get results. And the list it gives you, you can literally copy and paste those into the campaign. And then you can go testing from there, whether or not there's certain keywords you want to filter back out if you don't like the results of your video campaign, which we're going to dive into that in a little bit. It gives you search volume, so you'll know whether it's a high competition or low competition, which will determine the price you might pay for the ad impressions or for the cost per thousands, which are CPMs. So you can see here, you can just simply click copy, and you can copy keywords out of here. It came up with 2,000 of them. We certainly don't need that many. So I copied them. I went over here and I pasted in. We've got side hustle, entrepreneurship, side hustle from home, side hustle jobs. So those are some keywords we're going to use for this particular campaign, and the YouTube channel for the YouTube video that's going to be our ad. So I'm going to go grab that. So I've quite simply pasted in my keywords up here. And I have, we're going to change this best side hustles 2023 to 2025. I think I like that better. But so now I've simply pasted in my video and it called it up, and you can see it's in feed. And then to your website, say to buy something immediately, you could put that there, but I'm putting in the actual YouTube video because I want them to watch the video. And then from here, we want to have a headline and a description. You could use GPT to help you come up with one if you're having trouble with it, but you kind of want to keep it on the topic of the video and kind of around the topic of the keywords that you're using. Low overhead, low startup cost, easy to learn. And maybe I'll just add easy notary biz. And then for down here, typo there, discover my notary side hustle secrets. Come on. And then it's going to come down here and it is going to give us video enhancements. You can leave that alone, no big deal. Now here we're bidding on those keywords. So it's telling you start at least 4 cents. So you could generally expect to get videos from anywhere from 2 cents to 8 cents. And you're going to be able to control the cost based on the keywords. So if you see ones that are costing more than you want to pay, you can just eliminate that keyword. If you're not getting enough views, you can add more keywords to this. So you can edit this ad in real time. So we'll do 5 cents. And yep, there we go. Okay. And then that's it. We click create campaign and then it's going to put it in queue. It's basically going to review it, make sure you're not violating any policies. One of the policies that you might violate on accident that kind of all caps or exclamation points or stuff like that. They don't really like that kind of thing. So that's it. Then it will come back in and it'll give you a green light and then you can monitor the analytics on this, which are really simple with this type of ad. You're really just looking at monitoring the cost per views. So you want to make sure, you want to see, are you getting views? What keywords are you getting views for? If you're getting good views at a good price under a certain one, you can up the budget on that. By all means, if you're getting the subscribers you want and you're getting leads, then keep it going. If you're not, modify the campaign or just stop it. But this is a pretty safe way to run an ad for YouTube growth and for leads and sales. So there you have it.